Hurricane Ida has made landfall near Port Fourchon, Louisiana, as a devastating Category 4 hurricane. Hello, I'm Mike Nasa with this 1 p.m. update, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, on our very, very powerful Category 4 Hurricane Ida. Look at that satellite loop. A beautiful but dangerous hurricane coming right on in there in southeast Louisiana. Areas like Grand Isle, Port Fourchon, getting hammered right now by a disastrous storm. Here's the latest as of 11:55 a.m. Central Time. That's 12:55 a.m. Eastern Time. Extremely dangerous Category 4 Hurricane Ida makes landfall near Port Fourchon, Louisiana. The Doppler radar indicated that the eye of Ida made landfall near Port Fourchon around 11:55 a.m. Central. Data from Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunter and Doppler radar indicate that winds at landfall were estimated to be 150 miles per hour. That's the upper edge of Category 4, and the same strength as Hurricane Laura last year on the other side of Louisiana. The latest minimum central pressure, 930 millibars. Laura was 938, roughly. So this was stronger in barometric pressure than Hurricane Laura was, and 10 millibars higher, weaker in other words, than Katrina. So that shows you the type of hurricane we're dealing with. We've had sustained winds of over 40 and a gust to 67 at Lakefront Airport in New Orleans. This is going to get worse. And we also had a tide gauge at Shell Beach, I'll show you that in a minute, showing 6.4 feet higher water going in inundation in that area, as well as in the Waveland, I can't speak today, this hurricane, the Waveland Yacht Club. We have a NOAA tide gauge in Mississippi showing almost 6 feet above normal tide levels, and this is all going to be getting worse as the hurricane moves on. Again, right now it's about 15 miles southwest of Grand Isle and 45 miles southeast of Houma, moving northwest at 13, 150, 930 millibars, about as solid a high-end Cat 4 as you could get. There is the radar, and landfall is when the center of the center crosses the coast. That's exactly what we have there in Port Fourchon. Grand Isle, you're in the northeast eye wall right now of a Category 4 hurricane. You guys, I've seen some webcam images. Horrendous storm surge, horrendous winds. You are not going to like what you see along the coastline here in Louisiana, in particular areas like Grand Isle and Port Fourchon. Port Fourchon has a big impact on gas prices, too, throughout the United States, so get ready for the repercussions of that. The tide gauges, look at this map here on the NOAA website. We're looking here. This is Grand Isle. Look at that. Look at that red line going up with a storm surge. It's probably going to go higher than that. Here's another one. This is from Pilot Town. Look at how we're getting into the flood stage. And then even up here towards Lake Pontchartrain, we're getting higher water rises. And over here, Shell Beach, like I said, look at that major flooding in Shell Beach. Look at how fast that water has risen, and it's not done yet. And again, Shell Beach is up here, the hurricane's down here, so you have that onshore flow pushing water up, to say nothing of the Mississippi coast. Over here, we're seeing water rises very high, as mentioned at the Waveland Yacht Club. So again, dangerous storm surge, very strong winds. Overall, just a disastrous Category 4 hurricane strike on Louisiana. I'm telling you, this happened 16 years ago today. Hurricane Katrina made landfall, but Katrina was a Category 3 over here. This is a Category 4 of 150 over here. Last year we had Hurricane Laura, which was a Category 4 way over here. So Louisiana, you have not had good hurricane luck in the last year, with a 150-mile-an-hour storm over Cameron last year, and now a 150-mile-an-hour storm over Grand Isle this year. What a nasty disaster. Category 4 hurricanes in Louisiana. This is the 5th on record since the Civil War era. Again, our satellite and radar and all that came later, so we're a little bit skeptical of the old days, but as best we could tell, we had one in 1856, 1893, Betsy back in 65, Laura last year, and now Hurricane Ida in 2021. Very devastating for Louisiana. Power outages, they're going to be a big problem. They're already occurring. Here's the map of Louisiana as it loads here. You can see Plaquemines Parish on the right side of the hurricane, already almost over 9,000 out. And then we have Lafourche and Jefferson Parish. You're getting hammered. That's 33,000 people without power so far, All of this is going to be spreading up even into Mississippi because this core of dangerous winds is going to take a while to wind down, to say nothing of the high water rises. So again, this is a very destructive hurricane, a very dangerous situation. If you have internet, if you see this on your phone, if you're in an area like Berwick, like Houma, like Thibodaux, you guys are squarely in the path of that eye wall, and things are going to go downhill very rapidly. Hunker down, try and stay at higher ground, and if you're not by the water but you're going to get hit by the winds, get to an interior room, preferably a closet or a bathroom. You could take a mattress and pillows and put it over yourself as this hurricane crosses into your area with disastrous Category 4 intensity. I'm Mike Nasel with the continuing coverage of Hurricane Ida. Stay tuned to the YouTube channel. I'll have more later as we watch the rest of the tropics get active with a disastrous Category 4 landfall south of New Orleans today.